Hello everyone, welcome to Tactica, Imperialis and to today's video. Slightly different introduction, I'm standing behind the camera for a battle report instead of in front of it. Don't worry about it, it's just something different. So, today's going to be another Age of Sigmar battle report, testing out the new General's Handbook 2019, and we're going to be playing one of the new meeting engagements. We basically played the free-for-all version of this morning, and well, you may have already seen it. I'll leave a link in the doobly-doo if you want to. Suffice to say, it was unbalanced as flip, so we wanted a little bit more sanity. So we're going to play the official matched play version. So a meeting engagement is a 1,000 point game where you have a very limited army roster. You can see a nice little chart here, and you can easily pause the video if you want to have a read of that. Basically, you split your army into 3 bits, a front, a middle, and a back, and you then summon them onto the board in phases, depending on what the mission calls for. This game is played on a smaller board. As you can see, we're playing on about 33 by 45, I think is what we measured it at this morning, something like that. And the battle that we're going to be playing today is Daughters of Khaine versus Nurgle. I don't know if we call them Maggotkin of Nurgle, because they're not...
Well, yeah, it's Maggotkin.
I thought Maggotkin were like the mortals, so yeah.
No, Maggotkin's the whole thing.
Okay, so Maggotkin of Nurgle versus Daughters of Khaine. We're actually going to play monolist on my end this time. No wide net in sight. I already gave those a go. So, my list is split, as I mentioned, into 3 parts, and it is 1,000 points on the nose. So, my spearhead, my front load, is a Hag Queen. She is not my general, but she has the Rune of Khaine, she has Witchbrew, and her special prayer is the Pauper's Resurrection, which is some healing, because I wanted to try that one. You'll see with the rest of my army that I've quite high-loaded this army with a lot of multiple wound models, so I thought a little bit of healing knocking around for my general and for her will actually be quite useful because they have a tendency to die quite quickly. She'll be joined on the battlefield by 10 Witch Elves with the Bladed Bucklers and 5 Khaine Heartrenders, who I realise all of the units in my front load have been nerfed in the General's Handbook, so hopefully they won't be too insane, maybe, who knows. My main body, the mid-force, is including my general, and has to include a battle line unit. So, I have a Bloodrat Medusa. She is my general. She has got the Terrifying Beauty command trait, which is -1 to hit for all attacks that target her. As for her spells, she has the Enfeebling Foe, which is her baseline, as well as the Withering, which is a spell that gives +1 to wound rolls against the target unit. I've also given her the Relic, which is 1,001 Dark Blessings, so Marathi is watching over her, and that means that she gets to re-roll, or is it re-roll or is it add 1 to her? I think it's add 1 to her save rolls. So hopefully she'll be relatively tanky and hard to kill, because I want her on the board casting spells. She'll be accompanied by her Melisai Entourage, which is 5 Blood Sisters and 5 Blood Stalkers, freshly buffed with an Ice Points decrease. And then in my rear guard, my final section of the army, I have 5 Doomfire Warlocks, and their signature spell is going to be... Oh, I didn't think of this. I really didn't think of this. I'm going to give them Pit of Shades, because a lot of the army that I'm looking at across from me is quite fast, but not all of it, so I might get some use out of that. They're very useful missile cabin. They're nice and fast, so with a rear guard, they'll get around nice and quick. And I've got 10 Witch Elves armed with Sacrificial Knives. They will be my last unit. Now, it's not to say that they're going to come on in this exact order. The battle plan will tell us what they're going to come on in, but we'll get to that in a moment. For now, we have to get on to 1,000 points of Nurgle.
Okay, so we've got the front bit,
Spearhead.
2 beasts, and my general, who has got Tainted Corruptor, so I can make things have the Nalmor pinging ability, and his spell will be Glorious Afflictions, so pick a unit within 24 inches, and their run and any charge rolls are halved.
Okay,
That's pretty
that could be quite good, considering how fast my army is. So the main body here?
We have another Herald of Nurgle with Sumptuous Pestilence, which is like a 7-inch Nova mortal wounds, and his artifact is exactly the same thing. The Noxious Nexus, which is another 7-inch Nova of mortal wounds, and then 20 Plague Bearers there.
Lovely.
And then just 3 Plague Drones following at the rear.
Yeah, I was told very quite quickly, you're playing Daughters, I'm going to be mean. The original plan had a great unclean one, so that should tell you quite how...
It did not work.
This was going to be quite...
else.
This was going to be quite a filthy list, but we're aware we're not playing the most optimal build, and I'm sure that everyone's already broke the internet coming up with their favourite meeting engagement list. We're not those people. We're testing out the mechanics, and we're also experimenting at the same time, considering I'm using every unit that got changed in Daughters of Khaine, and most of them got nerfed, so hopefully they won't be too insane this time. But that's the armies. Now we need to generate a mission. They've conveniently provided for us 6 battle plans in the General's Handbook, and we're going to be playing mission number 1.
Yeah.
Nice and simple. That is the center ground. I'm just going to turn this page, not my tape measure doesn't fight me. So this is how it all works. You've got 2 different sides, and it'll code for you who's going to come on where, and I'll show you that now. So this is simple. There is one objective in the middle of the board. Everyone comes on from the same place, i.e. their own long board edge, with the spearhead starting on the board, then the main body arriving at the end of turn 1, and the rear guard at the end of turn 2. The game will last for 4 battle rounds, at which point the game will end, and the victory condition is based on how many victory points you've got. And so, to get those victory points, you need to add up the wounds characteristic of all enemy models that were slain during that battle round. If you have got more wounds of models killed in the round, you get 2 points. If neither has more, both players get 1. At the end of the battle round, you also see who controls the objective. Whoever does gets 3. If neither get it, you score 1. So, both players score 1, I should say. So, a nice and simple one, this one. We actually did a test game off camera. We played this one here, the Borderline. My Ideneth are very, 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 very fast.
And my Nurgle are very slow.
And that helps because we think we're reading this right, that your deployment is not the whole territory lark. Because it says that everything has an arrival edge and a setup edge. So the way we played it is that you set up within 3 inches of the board edge. Please correct us in the comments if we've got that wrong, that even the spearhead has to start there, because it seems like it's a bit pointless to have territory at all, aside from like certain mechanics defending our territory.
Yeah.
So we may have that wrong. Obviously reserves enter from there, but does the spearhead just have to deploy within 3 inches of the edge? I feel like we're almost playing it
I feel
wrong.
like they wouldn't bother putting the spearhead on the start line. You'd have the spearhead in the middle.
Yeah, I feel like that's correct, but at the same time, it just feels daft that your deployment zone is 3 inches.
And you only got 4 turns.
Yeah, slow armies will never even get to each other. Dispossessed versus Nurgle will be a field day. So, well, that's what we're going to do. Now, please let us know again if we get that wrong in the comments, and we will endeavour to get that right in future games, because I don't like getting things wrong on camera.
Because it means you've still got about 24 inches between you.
Yeah, point taken.
So,
Keeps a decent separation. So, we're going to go with that. We just need to roll off for who is going to be who. And I got a 2.
So,
Okay, try again. Yep.
4,
6. So I am going, well, I've got 3 units to put down and you've got 3 units to put down. So yeah, I'm going to take, I played this way earlier. I'm going to play on that side, I think, just for fun. So I'm going to deploy on that side. We'll get deployed and, well, actually, yeah, once we're deployed, we'll be ready to go. So let's get that done. So, welcome to whatever realm this is. Nobody cares. Yes, it's nearly 11 o'clock at night and I'm slightly hyper, though I'm not drunk, I don't drink, don't ask, just go with it. Right, so we are deployed. The objective is this nice bag of loot in the middle, and we have effectively Narmor hanging around. Great, so Nurgle's going to be getting lots of paths of summoning. Though, to be fair to it, from the test game, I don't think summoning is going to be too insane. Nurgle summoning is very consistent. But armies like Khorne and Tzeentch and maybe I'll give this Slanesh will probably not get too much out of their summoning. And armies like Death, well, they summon back what already died, so you don't get huge units until the late game anyway, because the game only lasts 4 turns. So it will remain to be seen. I'm sure someone's already found a way to break it, playing Flesh Eaters or something. I'm not the expert. So deployment-wise, we've stuck to our stay within 3 inches of the edge rule, which again, correct us if we're wrong. Well, I've got my Witch Elves here, my Hag Queen here, and my Kinnari Heartrenders right there. On this side, we have Beasts, Herald, Beasts. Nice and as simple as that. I realised I could have kept my Heartrenders up in reserve, but I feel like I want to just give Meat Engagement a proper run out rather than start trying to weave in reserves within a reserve mechanic that's already there. Plus, I don't think I really read ahead on how to interpret it, so that's just what we're going to do. I finished deploying first, and I'm staring down the barrel of a conundrum. Because for those who haven't faced Beasts of Nurgle before, when they're around a Herald, they're damaged 2, and they have a lot of
attacks. They're damage +1. They've got D3 damage attack as well.
Sorry, not damage +2. Sorry, not damage 2, damage +1, which is very, very silly. My Stormcast found that out a lot last year, though you never saw that footage. So, I'm very hesitant about going anywhere near them because they've got 7 wounds a throw. But I need to get to the objective in order to win the game, and I need to kill things in order not to die. So, It's going to be an interesting one. I think I'm going to go second. I'm going to go second in this first round and see what happens from there. So, as a reminder, reserves are going to be coming on from the long edges in question when it is time. But that's, I think, everything you need to know. The dial, by the way, is on Rampant Disease. So, at the start of the Nurgle hero phase, 3 different enemy units that aren't Nurgle, D3 units get whacked with the 3 mortal wounds. So, if I'm unlucky, I'm going to lose about half my army before I've even rolled a dice.
Yeah.
So, we will see how we go, and we will join you at the end of Nurgle turn 1. Okay, so end of Nurgle turn 1, and that was about as painful as I was expecting. So the dial, the deluge of whatever it's called, that hurt. 3 witch elves are dead, and 2 Kinnerai are dead. Brilliant. Brilliant start, that. So I need to take some battle tests. So for the witch elves, I'm bravery 4, but because I'm standard, I can re-roll it. So roll 2 dice, keep the lowest, and see what we get. I'm good. With the Kinnerai, bravery is down to 5. And of course, 1 runs away. Fabulous. Fabulous. So, if you're keeping count, that means that Nurgle has slain 6 wounds of stuff already this battle round, and I've rolled a grand total of 4 dice. So, this is going brilliantly so far. Well, actually, no, correction. I've rolled 7 dice. Sorry, I'll be correct. I've rolled 7 dice, and I've lost 6 wounds worth of models. Good. The beasts have advanced at high speed. One of them has Mystic Shield. This terrain is now stabby. And some Plague Bearers have also shown up in the back, as if I didn't have enough problems. Yeah. But I do have my snakes coming in at the end of this round, which should hopefully ease the tension. Only problem is, I've got to take the chunks out of the beasts, and I don't think I've got the punch to do it right now. And once they get across the front of that threshold, well, trouble abounds. So, we're going to have to think our way out of this one, otherwise it could get very one-sided very quickly. So, we'll see you at the end of Daughters of Khaine, turn 1. Alright, end of Daughters of Khaine, turn 1. General movement in this direction. I have some snakes. I managed to shoot a wound off a beast with a javelin, and that's it. I tried to give myself Rune of Khaine. I failed, but I made the imhonorable save. Thank you very much. And the Daughters of Khaine are witch-brute themselves, so they aren't going to be running away in case I get thumped. But to be fair, if I get thumped, then, well, I'm taking limit damage to a shot. So I'm going to die very, very fast, I suspect. But it's not all bad news. So whilst I did lose more models this round, so I lost 6 wounds worth of models as opposed to 0, so 2 points go to Nurgle. However, I did actually have more models within 6 inches of the objective, about 7 plays 4, which means that I score 3 points. So the score, as it stands, is 3 to the Daughters of Khaine and 2 to the Forces of Nurgle. So that's, whilst it looks bad, it's not a total disaster. And we're going to roll now for who goes first in the second battle round.
I will...
Please ignore the clock going off because it just struck another hour.
I think I'm going to let you come to me.
I am amazed by that decision.
Well, I'm more likely to get my Plague Bearers up quicker if there's something to charge.
Yes.
And once they're on the objective, I'm alright.
I agree, but there's 27 wounds of beast in between. If you're going to make the line there, I'm not fast enough to get round you. And you'll still probably have damage too. So which means you'll be killing a snake with every shot.
Yeah.
I can see argument both ways of getting your Plague Bearers up safely or not. But
it gives me the option of a double turn later.
It does. It definitely
It
does.
stops you getting a double turn next turn. I don't think there's that much you can do this turn to me. I mean, you can move your Witch Elves in. Probably kill a beast. But I think I'll still kill them back. And I've got Mystic Shield on.
You do?
So, yeah, I'm going to let you take the turn.
Okay.
Because I know I've got regrowth coming as well.
That's true. The next time the dial ticks around, every Nurgle model heals.
And then, if I get the double turn, I get extra move.
That is also true.
So, yeah, I'm going to let you take it.
Alright, that makes a lot of sense actually when you break it down. So, Daughters will be taking the lead, and we will join you at the end of Daughters of Khaine, turn 2. Okay, end of Daughters turn 2, and everything predicted went exactly as expected. 1 beast died, I lost 2 wounds on the Hag Queen, I lost 2 Witch Elves, but I'm immune to Battle Shock because I had Witch Brew. I tried to cast the Withering to get myself +1 to wound, which would have maybe done something, but no, completely botched it. Rolled like a 3 on 2d6. The Kinnerai are proving quite useful, just plinking off wounds here and there. The Bloodstalkers did a little bit. The Blood Sisters attempted a huge long bomb, but I needed an 11, so no. The reserves are now in, so my entire army has now arrived. So I've got my Doomfire Warlocks there and my Witch Elves. I admit I front-loaded this army, or I thought I front-loaded this army. Little did I know. So, yeah, as it stands, I have control of the objective, but I'm staring down the barrel of 20 Plague Bearers, so that's not going to last. So, we're going into Nurgle turn 2. We've got an ongoing melee, which is going to result in D3 mortal wounds of retreat, killing my Hag Queen. I already know how this goes. I've seen it a million times. And then it just charges back in anyway, so details. Right, we will join you at the end of Nurgle turn 2. Okay, end of Nurgle turn 2. Not a total bloodbath, but I got nothing done. So, well, the Beast of Nurgle retreated, did 3 mortal wounds, goodbye Hag Queen, thank you very much, nice knowing you. And then it charged against the Witch Elves. It wasn't trying to do that. It tried to get much further down the board, failed, re-rolled it, still failed, and ended up crashing into the Witch Elves and doing nothing. The Witch Elves though didn't get to attack because they got shanked by Plague Bearers because I was trying to get my Blood Sisters to go off, and I did 2 flipping wounds. Because somebody managed to make 4 out of, I think, 5 or 6 disgustingly resilient rolls. Luckily though, only 1 wound dealt back because of some dodgy wound rolls, so that's just going to be a protracted stall fest for the rest of the time. Speaking of Storly, welcome to 3 Plague Drones. They don't know how to die, and again, neither do beasts. So, yeah. In terms of stuff killed, I think I actually won that round.
I got 5 for your Hag Queen.
Oh, you got 5? Oh, yeah.
And then 5 Witch Elves.
You got 15. You killed the whole unit of Witch Elves. Yeah, about 12. I only got 7.
Yeah.
So, that is 5 points for the Force of Nurgle, taking them up to 7.
Magic number. Oh, I've got a count here as well.
Yeah, I'm just doing this here for the viewers. So that is 7 to 3 in favour of... I gave myself a D10. I should not have given myself a D10. So yes, that is 7 to Nurgle and 3 to Khaine. Right, good. So, end of round 2. Let's see who's going to go first in round 3. I got a 6.
I got a 4. You can test it if you want.
Well, it's either that or I lose. So, yeah, I'm going to have to. Because if I don't, well, D3 mortal wounds, crunch, probably crunch. Also, there's Plague Drones. Yeah, I need to go. Yeah, otherwise, I'm just going to get swamped. Well, I've already been swamped. Alright, let's see what we can do. See the end of Daughters, turn 3. Okay, end of Elves, turn 3. So, I wanted to do a couple of wounds to the Plague Drones. I think I got 1 through the Kinnerai. The Doomfire Warlocks and Bloodstalkers, working together, managed to kill off that beast there. So, 7 wounds this round to me. And the Blood Sisters remembered how to punch things and killed a beast outright. The Witch Elves then managed to score another 4 wounds on their own, despite the fact that they were actually quite hampered because they had their moves, runs, and charges all halved. I forgot to mention that in the last round, I apologise. But they still managed to get a few attacks in and do a good pile of wounds to that beast. 1 more, and I got rid of it. Unfortunately, I did lose 1 sister, and because of the way I'd piled in to get maximum attacks, I did lose another one because of the coherency, so my bad there. The Blood Rat Medusa is incompetent, has failed both her casting rolls, and I got 9 shots in with the shooting attack, and I didn't roll a single 5+. So they're still at full strength, which means it's -2 to hit when shooting them, -1 to hit the rest of the time, which is pleasant. But the Doomfire Warlocks did attempt to bit of shade to them, got it off, rolled a 5 on 2d6, and then moved 5, so no wounds done that way. So there's a giant pile of Plague Bearers, and there's still a full strength unit of Plague Drones, but the back of the beast has been basically broken. Hey, that rhymes. No, it doesn't. It alliterates. You come on, English. So, yeah, there's been a lot of wounds scored on my side. 14 plays 4 at the time of the turn change. But we'll have to see, because obviously Nurgle's a mile ahead, and I really need to be getting that objective back. Actually, when I take the objective, I think I'll have to completely clean up to get the draw. So, we will see. We'll join at the end of Nurgle, turn 3. Okay, end of Nurgle, turn 3. So, Beast retreated, don't think it did anything. Charged back in, did something, then died. These 2 heralds combined, and total 6 Witch Elves died, but they did pass their battle shock thanks to a nice banner reroll. Blood Sisters were left high and dry thanks to some clever piling in, so common sense there. Plague Bearers just started to trundle along up here, did 1 wound to the Bloodstalkers and to the Blood Rat Medusa, but did lose 3 of their own in response. Up here, the Plague Drones charged the Doomfire Warlocks, killed 2 for the cost of about half of one of their own, so win's a win there. So, in terms of models killed, we just did the maths quickly. I've killed 17 wounds, thanks to 3 Plague Bearers and 2 Beasts. On the other hand, 15 wounds of mine have died because I lost a Blood Sister, plus I lost another one to Battle Shock. I then lost 2 Doomfire Warlocks, 6 Witch Elves, and 1 Kinnerai. So it is 17 to 15 in my favour, which means that although Nurgle claims the objective and goes up to, this is not a 0, I promise, it is actually 10. So they go up to 10, I go up to 5. Where's the 5? There's 5 on here, there we go. So that means that in order to win the game, I have to take that objective.
Yes.
And I have to outkill it.
Yeah.
The two generally will be quite, I get one, I get the other, but I'm going to have to do both now. However, we need to decide if I'm going to get the chance. Let's see what happens on this round. Who goes?
Got a 2, got a 3. I'm
I
assuming
do.
you're taking it.
I'm going to need to, I think, because...
I get +1 to wound this round as well.
Good, it's not I re-roll 6s, because
No.
that would have been a nightmare. So, it's going to be a Hail Mary, but then some of the best games end in a Hail Mary, we know that. So, we'll see, I suppose. Maybe those Blood Sisters being freed up will end up being a blessing.
Yeah.
Who knows? We will join you at the end of Daughters of Khaine turn 4, and more than likely we'll have the result by then as well. Okay, end of Daughters of Khaine turn 4. Operation Smash didn't quite go as well as expected, but when 5 out of 7 saves on a 6+ come out as a 6, well, you just
There's
know
not
it's...
what you can do. Is
Yeah,
there?
you just sort of accept it's not your day. But the Bloodwreck actually did something, killed like 4 with shooting, which she should have done, she hit 17 of them. The Bloodstalkers did a little bit, the Doomfire Warlock shot down a Plague Drone, but did nothing in melee. The Witch Elves did nothing and then died ignominiously. I got the Blood Sisters in, and they did some good work, but, well, see what I just said about save rolls. So, not too bad under normal circumstances, but under the circumstances of I need to clear the board to win, well, not so nice.
Yeah.
I am technically ahead on wounds killed. I've killed 13, plays 8, but there are several things that could happen to win the game. Because this is the last round, last turn. So if Nurgle retreats, they win, because they have more models on the objective.
But
That's boring. If Nurgle summons anything, which they should be able to do, you can't not, then they win. So Nurgle's won. The only question is in how much style are they going to do it by?
Not that much style, is my guess.
Well, we'll find out, I suppose. So we will see you at the end of Nurgle turn 4, and that'll be the end of the game. Alright, end of Nurgle turn 4, and thus end of game. So, as you can see, the Plague Bearers are still alive, and there's some more of them there. So Nurgle has control of the objective. So that is a nice solid 3 points for them. The only question remaining is who killed more, and the answer is almost certainly Nurgle. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Plays 16.
So the daughters get that, so they get the 2 points, which takes them up to 7. So by a grand score of 13 to 7, which is honestly generous given how this game has gone, that is a victory for the Forces of Nurgle.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I deserved everything I got.
Yeah, I mean,
I deserved everything I got.
it's just a shame that one's on camera. Like,
I mean, the game we played off camera with the Ideneth. It was proxy game, so we were never going to show it on camera. But that was even...
curb stomping with that.
I did. So honestly, this was the better game for us to show, but that was just rude.
I mean, you did take quite a nice chill list.
I wouldn't call it that chill.
I mean, you brought
Like it,
a lot more snakes and a lot less witch elves.
I brought all but 10 of the witch elves in my
Yeah.
collection. I
Yeah,
didn't
true.
bring a cauldron. That's the only thing I didn't do.
I mean, I did bring a lot of beasts, but they didn't do all that much.
Aside from be 28
It just
wounds.
didn't
of,
die, yeah.
Yeah, 28 wounds of roadblock.
Mind you, none of my army did that much other than not die. It was just a lot of attrition.
Yeah, and that's the sort of game that my army cannot play.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. That is meeting engagements. Compared to the opening play games that we've had, well, we've played 2 games of meeting engagements, and they've both been quite one-sided. In opposite directions and for very different reasons, they've been very one-sided, but they have been very one-sided.
I think you suffered particularly in this one with the fact there was just one objective. If I had
Arguably-
to split my force up,
Yeah, you could just big schmalls around
Yeah.
that, and that was the game. Whereas if there'd been one out there and one down here, as we
Yeah,
had in our
yeah.
previous game,
I'd have struggled a lot more. I mean, not as much as I did in the previous game because I'm a bit faster. But yeah, I think the big blob in the middle really favours a big blob of plague bearers.
yeah, absolutely. So I think what I'd say about meeting engagements is I think the best build you can go for is something like the Nurgle build you've seen here, a combination of speed and defense. Because in a short game like this, it isn't, particularly where it's not about doing something flashy, it's about, well, 2 out of 5 of the victory points available every turn come from most stuff killed. So if your stuff doesn't die, then
Yeah.
you're at an advantage. If your stuff is fast and can grab multiple objectives at once, so you've got lots of units,
It's much more advantage.
you're way at an advantage, like my Idneth were earlier on today.
I mean, against your Idneth, I could not win because no matter how many of them I were to kill a turn,
I had 2 on board.
you always had more objectives than me, and
Yeah.
you were always a point up.
Yeah. So I think an MSU speed build with a bit of inbuilt defense is probably going to be
Yeah.
one of the most powerful builds in meet engagements. That said,
I don't think you can bring anything too horrible to face in it.
arguably no. And the mission design doesn't always lend itself to the same things being on the board. So if you overstack your spearhead, there are 2 missions where the spearhead doesn't start on the board, maybe even 3, where the spearhead is not the first thing on the board. In one mission, the spearhead comes on last. So you can end up backloading where you want to be front loading. So there's a lot to unpack here, and I don't think we'll be able to sum this up in a 2-minute discussion at the end of a video. But
I like it. I think it's
a good idea.
going to take some getting used to work out what works and what's kind of ridiculous to bring.
Agreed. And we'll leave that to the people who are actually good at this game to unpack. Sorry, that's harsh.
No, I completely agree. Like,
but yeah, I think it's a fun game mode.
it's quick.
It is very quick. So we've played 2 games in a shade over 4 hours, including filming and writing 2 army lists separately and all that jazz. We've played 2 games in about 4 hours. So I think it's a great idea. Maybe it's just got a bit of work to do in refining, but that's something that the players can do. I don't think the core of the game mode needs to change in any particular way.
I think the thing that I kept forgetting almost was that it's only 4 turns.
That's true. So armies like Daughters of Khaine, who get better and better and better, have got 1 less turn of getting better. Idneth, okay, it benefits them greatly that there's 1 less turn because they don't like attrition. Whereas grindy armies like Nurgle actually quite like games that go long. So arguably, there's a lot to unpack, and I'm sure that people all over the internet come up with really good ways to make this mode work for you in various different ways. Is it organised play worthy? That remains to be seen. They've encouraged it in the General's Handbook, and they do want to push meeting engagements as an idea for organised play, whether it's early game tournament seeding, whether it's standalone events, whether it's warm-up games, whatever it is, they are pushing for organised play and meeting engagements. And I think they can do it, but it's going to take work just to refine, on our end, I think, as players, to refine exactly what works, because I think this thing will develop a very, very narrow metagame, where...
Quite a different one too.
Oh yeah, a very different one to the base game of AOS, but a very narrow one, where a very specific type of build is what's going to win, and maybe you'll have the odd counter to it. I'm willing to be corrected. I'm no expert on meta reading, but that's the vibe I get from this, is that because it's smaller, because it's quicker, certain armies will benefit and certain armies won't. But we'll see, and I hope that we do find out soon. So, that is the end of another video. I do hope you have enjoyed it. Let us know what you think of the game in the comments below. What do you think of the builds? What do you think of the game mode? All of that fun stuff. Do like to hear what you have to say. For now though, this has been the end of this big Tactica Imperialis. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you all again. Bye for now.